Ever since it was announced, fans of Disney's new DuckTales reboot have been waiting for two major character reveals. A pair of iconic heroes who stand as legends in the Disney Duck universe. And they're finally here. Their mission, however, isn't to save the world. It's to save Launchpad McQuack. If you've been dying to see how the new DuckTales reboot handles Darkwing Duck and Gizmoduck, then you need to watch Beware of the Buddy System. Not only is this one of the best episodes of DuckTales so far, but it also introduces both of the Duck universe's iconic heroes in one fell swoop. But that's not what makes this episode great. It's true, Gizmoduck and Darkwing are both here, and they're both incredibly important to the plot of the episode. But it's not the heroes who make Beware of the Buddy System a great story, it's the sidekick. This is a Launchpad episode, and it's almost perfect. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely pause this video and check it out. I think it's absolutely worth experiencing for the first time yourself. If you have though, you know this episode doesn't start out in the money bin, at McDuck Manor, or by following Uncle Scrooge on a treasure hunt. It starts by following Darkwing Duck on an adventure in St. Canard, by way of Launchpad's television.
What is this weird show?
Whoa, what? Darkwing Duck? The greatest TV show of all time?
That's right, Darkwing Duck isn't a superhero in the world of the DuckTales reboot, but the main character of Launchpad's favorite TV show. That's a big change from what a lot of fans expected, but it makes a ton of sense. In the original Darkwing Duck, Launchpad was DW's biggest fan, and he still is. In fact, he grew up watching the show, and his admiration for Darkwing Duck helped shape Launchpad's character as an adult. For better or worse.
Remember, Dewey, a true hero thinks with his gut or not at all. Right, DW?
Let's get dangerous.
So yeah, Launchpad may be Scrooge McDuck's driver and pilot, but he apparently never actually had a driver's license.
Hey, come on, I've got a pilot's license, don't I? Wait, don't I?
Even so, he's so proud that he finally has his license that he's rushing to the money bin to tell Scrooge. But he just can't find the old guy. It turns out Scrooge is underground with Gyro and his new assistant.
Fenton Crackshell Cabrera!
Yeah, we'll come back to him in a minute, but the real reason we're in Gear Loose Labs is to create an excuse to talk about Mark Beeks, who's apparently built himself a self-driving robot car. Gyro says that's impossible, so of course the crew goes downtown to check it out.
Boo! Bad! Do not like!
Agreed. Very negative feelings indeed.
It turns out the robot driver of the self-driving car, or the buddy system as Mark Beeks calls it, is so good that Launchpad is actually worried that Scrooge is going to replace him with a robot. So of course, there's only one option.
A race.
What are you doing?
Thinking with my gut. Me versus the bot. Winner gets free candy for life.
I just want to send it.
Oh, that's better. Winner is named the ultimate driver.
That's right, Launchpad is thinking with his gut, following the instincts he learned from years of watching Darkwing Duck. The problem with that is, the appeal of the robot is he's the exact opposite of Launchpad. If you know anything about the old pilot, you know his specialty isn't driving well, but crashing spectacularly. And the robot specialty? It can't crash, and that makes Launchpad doubt himself.
What about thinking with your gut and getting dangerous?
Well, if Mr. McD thinks this uncrashable robo-me is so great, I have to prove I can get dangerous in the safest way possible.
And this is the heart of the episode. Launchpad's self-doubt has him questioning everything he knows about himself, everything Darkwing taught him when he was a kid. He even asked Gyro's assistant to help him drive safer, to think more like a robot. This drives him to put away his Darkwing toy before the race so he won't be distracted by his hero's signature catchphrase. But being safe isn't what makes Launchpad special. I mean, he's reckless and happy-go-lucky, sure, but he's also confident and the kind of person who never gives up. At his purest, he's an insane master of thoughtless improvisation.
Go, you bumblebee-like savant, go!
At the end of the day, in a contest of driving safe, Launchpad was never going to be the guy that was gonna win. But if you need someone to rescue from a runaway car, on the other hand...
You try corralling them into a ravine, or...
I'll probably just crash into it.
Isn't that really unsafe?
Tried playing it safe, old friend. Didn't work. Let's get dangerous.
I love the structure of this episode. It sets up Launchpad as having this admiration for a childhood hero and frames his own story around how true he stays to the ideals he learns from that hero. When Launchpad stops trusting his gut and puts Darkwing aside, he fails. But when he takes the toy, and by extension his own confidence, motto, and ideals back out, he becomes the hero he's always dreamed of being. Launchpad succeeds by being true to himself. And all that character development happens before Gizmoduck even shows up. I won't get into too much detail about that hero, because again, this episode is all about Launchpad. But if you've been waiting for this, it doesn't disappoint. Lin-Manuel Miranda is both a delight as the fast-talking Fenton and as Gizmoduck, and his rescue mission at the end of the episode is one of the most exciting action sequences the show has had so far. My favorite part about him, however, is how Fenton Crackshell Crabera is a completely different and the same character as the original. In the old series, Fenton was this prodigy of counting. He was clever, but his intelligence was way less on the forefront than this version of the character. He was more of a weird oaf who was a bit annoying. Cabrera, on the other hand, is incredibly smart, but he's careless. He means well and tries too hard, and this makes him get ahead of himself and make mistakes. At the heart, that's kind of the same character. They're failing for the same reasons, and I think this is a great interpretation of who Fenton was to become something new and honestly more interesting. I also love that his Gizmoduck transformation has this kind of Sailor Moon Power Rangers vibe. There's a lot more to say about this character, and I'll probably give him his own video later on. Even though he's still kind of just there to support Launchpad. When the going gets tough for Gizmoduck, it's Launchpad's reckless and brave driving that saves him, multiple times. In this episode, Launchpad more than proves that he's worthy of being Darkwing Duck's sidekick, and it's just a joy to watch. As for Darkwing Duck himself, well, I've got a lot more to say about this cameo, and I kind of had to split it off into its own video. You can check that out by clicking on the title card or the description or going to my channel page. As for this video, I think we're done. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe, share, or click the like button. If not, no worries. Thanks for watching anyway, and take it easy, Internet.